Hi, shalom everyone, a special edition. As we all know, tonight happens to be Holocaust Remembrance Day, Yom Hashoah, Wednesday, 23rd of April, here in the evening. Many people will be lighting candles all over the world in memory of lost ones. And I was going to talk about on today in the special edition with regards to the idea about lighting candles on the Yartzeit of the Hilula of a loved one or someone specifically here in this, let's just say, informative edition of this series. It happens to be now. Firstly, I'd like to dedicate this Lilu Nishmat Yehuda ben David. Everyone, please do good deeds in his memory, and let's explore about the idea of lighting candles. So it's obviously the word Yartzeit or Hilula could be spelled different ways. It's also in Hebrew called Ner Neshama, also meaning the soul candle, and many people all throughout throughout the world in of itself would light it on the, let's just say, on the memory of a loved one, especially on the Yartzeit, the anniversary. It means this word, the Yartzeit, does. And I think actually the word Yartzeit itself actually is a German origin word called, let's say, Jahara or Ye or Zait, a specific time in of itself. So we know that obviously it's called, the candle itself is called a Ner Neshama, a candle for the soul in Hebrew. So everyone in Israel would popularly know it as that specific terminology in of itself. It's a widely practiced custom where mourners light this specific Ner Neshama, this candle over here, which will burn for 24 hours, naturally on the anniversary of the death on the Hebrew calendar. That's the first thing we must stress out, the Hebrew calendar over here. This is very, very important to know. Many Jews, let's just say, that are unobservant will also follow this custom. I think it's a good thing to do on this specific day. Many people might visit the grave, the cemetery of the person that had deceased on the Hilula itself. Many great rabbis, especially, people will travel outside the country, wherever they are in their vicinities, to actually visit the kever, that specific burial plot in of itself. And there's source actually for the custom of lighting the Yartzeit candle. It comes from the book of Mishlei in chapter 20, in verse 27. I'll say the verse in English. It says, the soul of a man is a candle of, let's just say, the Lord over here. A candle similarly appears, I believe, in a Midrash description at the time period of Aaron HaKohen's passing. God said to Aaron, enter the cave, and he entered. He saw a bed made and a candle burning. Hashem said to him, go up on the bed, and he went up. Spread your hands, and he spread out his hand. Close your mouth, and he closed his mouth. Close your eyes, and he closed his eyes. Moshe immediately desired that his death would occur the same day. So we know that it's also going to be used, Yartzeit candles, the Ner Neshama, let's just say also maybe for more convenience reasons, especially during the Chagim, especially during the Shalosh Reglim of Pesach, Shavuot, and Sukkot, and also on Rosh Hashanah, because we know that there's an idea, it's forbidden to light a new fire, but permitted to light one flame from an existing flame for certain purposes, like cooking, for example. So this candle itself, let's say the Ner Neshama, the Yartzeit candle, or other long-lasting candles, is lit before the holidays so that a flame, let's say, is available in a case of need. Similarly, obviously, Havdalah after Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, requires a fire that has burned since before the holiday. And these candles, Ner Neshama, the Yartzeit candles, often used on this purpose itself. Naturally, there's different manufacturings of 48-hour or 72-hour candles are also manufactured respectively. Now we can add on a few more tidbits, let's just say, within regards to this. It's actually interesting. There is evidence of Jewish people, apparently reported over, of lighting candles to honor, let's say, the people that passed away, as far as back as the Mishnaic period, approximately more than 2,000 years ago. In fact, the Mishnah states that one cannot use the fire of the dead for the Havdalah blessing on Saturday night because it was lit not for the living, but to honor the dead. This is what is quoted over. I think we've got to look over at Masechet Brachot, page 51 and 53, within regards to that. That's the first thing. Also, we find that Rabbi Yehuda Hanassi, Rabbi Judah the Prince, who was, let's say, a compiler of the Mishnah, commanded his household before his passing to leave a lamp lit in its place. This is, which was commanded, and the source for that, I think, is from the Masechet Ketubot on page 103, with regards to that. And although, let's just say, this phrase is usually understood to refer to the Shabbat lamp, some point to this as a precedent for lighting a candle on the departed soul. Let's say the verse actually states why, we can first of all say. So the verse states, the soul of man is a lamp of God, which we stated about before. We mentioned that just a few minutes ago. Additionally, based on this soul lamp comparison, there are many reasons given for lighting a candle. For example, filling a void. When a soul departs from this world, it leaves behind a dark void. So the memorial candle will serve to replenish this light. This is actually a responser from the Betzel HaChochma, respectively. That is one of the things. Bringing joy to the soul. Rab Bachya ben Asher, I think he passed away in 1340, explains that the soul derives joy from the candle's light. They're quoting a pasuk, the light of the righteous will rejoice. That is just as another example that comes also from Proverbs, Mishlei, in chapter number 13. That's another thing. We could also say it's atonement for the soul. I think with regards to the custom of lighting a memorial candle, for example, before Yom Kippur, Rabbi Asher ben Yechiel, I think passed away in the year 1327, explains that we light a candle to atone for the souls of the departed. Once again, quoting a verse, for the lights honor the Lord, over here. And I think that's actually quotes from Isaiah, Pasuk in chapter 24, respectively. So obviously there's, you could also say there's a wick and a flame. There's that's actually comparisons to a body and soul. Let's just say on a more mystical level, a candle represents a person connection to the divine. The lamp, including the wick, represents a body, and the flame represents the divine soul. When a candle is lit, both the wick and the fuel combust in an upward licking flame of light. Through learning Torah and doing a mitzvot, the body is subsumed by the soul and becomes spiritual energy. A flame has three components to it. There is the inner blue, or let's say the blackish part of the flame, which hugs the wick and consumes the oil. Then there is the bright body of the flame, which provides the light. Lastly, there's a third level, the subtle aura that surrounds the flame. These three parts correspond to the three components of the soul that are most closely associated with the physical body. That naturally is a nefesh, ruach, and neshama, respectively. That I think we can actually learn about that in the Ma'avar Yabok, in Sfat Emet, in chapter number 15, which is very interesting. It's actually interesting, just to add on, the two deeper levels, Chaya and Yechida, commune with God in a way that transcends the world. And we should actually see we should actually look into that, explore that further. But please, everyone, light candles memory on the date of the Yartzeit. Could be a loved one, a close relative, a great rabbi, and especially on this day when we're remembering the Holocaust Remembrance Day. And let's just hopefully see there'll be blessings all over the world and just good times for everybody. Once again, I'd like to dedicate this Lilu Nishmat for Yehuda ben David, wishing you all a safe and good evening.